All right, guys. Website Wednesday. So I can't tell you how many doctors' websites and web presences I take a look at to get feedback, and can't believe how dismal their Google reviews are. So that's not just having an effect on how people in general perceive chiropractors. If there's no reviews on a listing when they type in chiropractor, Smithtown, and it looks like your practice is closed, it looks like it's you went out of business. So really, really be conscious, because this isn't just about getting passive, free new patients through the internet. Again, this isn't paid advertising. You're not standing on the corner with a spine. You're not spending money on a dinner talk. This is what your web presence looks like in terms of Google reviews, and it's there forever. It's not disappearing. You know, it's not a mailer where hopefully you get a bunch of new ones in because you did a mailer that month, but after that, people never see it again. So I can't tell you how vital this is, not just getting passive, free new patients in, but the perception of our field and also your practice in the community, especially if someone wants to refer to you. Most likely their referrals are still going to Google you, and they want to see, you know, Mary's saying you're great, but you have 0 or 3 reviews, and everyone else in your community has 15, 25, 45. So here's a great example. I refer new patients to different doctors in New York City all the time, doctors that are in the program. I haven't taken on a new patient in like 3 years. And just last week, one of them said, Josh, how do you get these people, or how these people filling out your form on your website, calling and leaving a message, how are you getting these? You don't do any marketing. And I said, look at my Google reviews in my neighborhood. That was one of my concerted efforts in my first couple of years in practice of just completely destroying the competition. I don't know what it looks like now because I don't care so much, but it was like 3 times as much back years ago when I actually made that effort. That's why people are still calling, submitting their contact information on my website, and then I'm passing them off to other docs. And again, it's free. I haven't done any energy, time, or money into marketing in the past few years. So last week I talked about how to ask for that review so it doesn't come off weird, and also so it doesn't come off egotistical, meaning it's not just about someone writing about you and your practice for your own accolades and your own ego. So if you missed that, click on my timeline, go back to, it's probably last Wednesday or Thursday, and watch that video. It's just a very easy way to ask that's going to make a difference. Now, even for patients who say yes and accept to write a review and had a great experience and have something great to write, still only about 1 in 3 are going to write because we get so busy. We have tons of stuff in our email inbox, and it just gets overlooked. So there's also another aspect, and that is people are not natural like review writers, or just like with a testimonial on camera, people feel very nervous and anxious and unprepared to get on camera. So people don't know what to write. And now if you're in Australia or one of those countries where there's restrictions on reviews, I'll cover that too. Make it easy for people when you send them the email with your link. Again, all they have to do is open the email, click on the link, it brings them to your Google Maps page where they just click write a review. Make it easy how to write that review, a 3-step process, because people don't know if they should write a page, should they get it edited, how long is it going to take, and as soon as they start thinking that, they go to their next email, and then it's at the bottom of the pile, and they're never going to see it again, and that's where the 2/3 of the people who said they'd write your review and love you aren't writing reviews because they don't know exactly the 3-step process, and it gets overwhelming. So lay it out for them. 1, 2, 3. This is how to write a review. 1, why you came in, what you were dealing with, what was the conditions, the symptoms, whatever it was, what drove you into the practice. That's 1. 2, what was your experience with the practice? How were the adjustments? Did you like the doctor, the staff? Was it easy to get to? The office hours easy? You know, what was your experience receiving care and being a patient here? And 3, what were the results you got and the difference it made in your life? Then right under that, put an example of a few sentence ideal paragraph of someone else's testimonial for them to understand and mimic that. Not copy it, it's their story, but give them the outline. 1, 2, 3. It could be a sentence each, and then an example of one. Have your CA email that to them the day they agree, the day you ask them or your CA asks them. And remember, there's a way to ask, and that's in last week's video, so click on the timeline and go find that. And then after you email them, have your CA call them later that night or the next day and just confirm, hey, did you receive the email? Not, did you write the review yet? That's very different. One is just checking that it went through technology, logistically. The other is you're wrong if you haven't written it yet. So just by inquiring, did they get it, will prompt them more likely to look for it, open it, write the review when it's laid out clearly. Now, for the docs in, say, Australia or any other countries where there's a lot of legality around what can be written in a review, and you don't want to get in trouble just for people writing that they got great results with you. So be clear. If you're in that country, be clear. This is how to write it. This is why you came in. This is your experience with the office. And if you're not allowed to talk about people getting their symptoms gone or conditions well or anything like that, leave off number 3 and then give an example and state it to them so you don't get in trouble or you don't have to ask them to take the review down or edit it later. You cannot write XYZ. You cannot write that your headaches went away. You cannot write that your low back pain was cured. You cannot write that your child's asthma disappeared, if that's the case. So just be absolutely crystal clear. Make it easy for people, because whenever someone's doing something for the first time, they're going to get it, we're going to get in our head, we're going to make it a bigger issue than it actually is. And when we do that, since it's not really urgent for any patient to write a review, they're going to end up not doing it. So all of this is without kickbacks, it's without gifting or prizing patients or coercing them in any way to write a review. It's purely asking them and making it really easy for them. There's definitely services out there that make it easier, so there's less burden on your staff to be sending the email, to be checking in by phone, to be following up with them. I have some I endorse, definitely, so if you want that, send me a message. I'll send you the link to that company. Otherwise, really, really think about the difference in you set it, you get to the number 1 in your community. Remember, someone Googles Smithtown Chiropractor and they see 5 or 3 on that top list, even if they expand it. Why would they ever choose one that doesn't have the top reviews? It just makes no sense. And again, we're talking about people that aren't referred, didn't come in purely through one of your marketing realms. They're just looking for a chiropractor. I had a friend call me today asking for a chiropractor reference in Manhattan. There's an example. So people are just looking all the time, more so than are getting captured by your marketing. Be that practice that stands out with the orange stars, the highest number. They click on it, it's raving reviews. Then when they get to your website, that's a whole different story. But there's a process of how the prospect thinks and acts. And if you drop the ball at any aspect of that process, you lost. So again, unlike screenings, dinner talks, other active paid marketing, you do this once, it's set forever. They're not disappearing. Make it a game with your office staff, your office manager. By the end of the year, depending on how far you are behind the lead in your community, make it a game. Hey, can we get 20 by the end of the year? And if so, here's an extra end of year holiday bonus you're gonna get. Make it a game, make it fun, make it exciting. It will last forever, it'll make a huge difference. And again, the name of the game in chiropractic is not number of new patients anymore. That's been obvious over the past 5 years. It's about how many of those new patients are actually turning into paying, staying, referring patients. That's the name of the game. But hey, there's nothing wrong with getting plenty of new patients coming in to then create that with them. It just depends, how do you get those new patients in? Are you spending weekends? Are you spending your evenings away from your family, away from your loved ones, your home, doing marketing, spending tons? Or is it happening more passively and they're being attracted to you? So I'm all for that way. Doesn't discredit the other ways, but that better be one of your avenues, is passive new patients finding you purely from your Google reviews. It'll last you your whole career, pretty much free, and it feels a lot better than the energy we often put out in our different marketing endeavors. So follow that process when you email them of the 3 steps on how to write a review, the follow-up, an example, make it super easy, and become the leader in your community by the end of the year, and watch the phone start ringing. Then when they come into practice, hopefully you're leading them through a patient-centered consult and recommendations conversation, And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, want more of that, go to patientmastery.com and watch the 15-minute video right there on the homepage of how to take someone from, is chiropractic for me? Is my insurance going to pay? Do I trust these recommendations? To, can we start today? I understand my insurance isn't going to pay, and I'm ready to get started. That's absolutely what has to be in every chiropractic practice. So with that, I'll let you go. Hope you're having a great, focused week. You need anything, go to patientmastery.com or send me a message. All right, be great, guys.